I don't know how to start this without sounding dramatic, but I'll say it anyway. Don't mind, but loving you has become the most natural thing in my life. I never planned to call someone my queen. I used to think those words were exaggerated, the kind people throw around without meaning. But when I say it to you, it feels different. It feels earned. It feels true. Because you don't just exist in my life, you rule a space in my heart that no one else has ever touched. And that scares me. Not because you're too much, but because I've never cared this deeply before. You see, before you, love was just a word, a conversation, a phase. I thought I understood it because I had experienced attention, attraction, attachment, but you showed me something else. You showed me peace. You showed me what it feels like to admire someone, not just for how they look, but for how they think, how they carry themselves, how they respect themselves. The first time I called you my queen, it wasn't about romance. It was about respect. You have this quiet power, the way you handle situations, the way you don't beg for validation, the way you walk like you know your worth, and I fell for that hard. But let me confess something honestly. Loving someone strong like you isn't always easy. Sometimes I feel small next to your confidence. Sometimes I wonder if I'm enough. Sometimes I overthink your silence. Sometimes I replay our conversations in my head, searching for signs that I didn't mess something up. I don't show it, but I feel it. Because when someone matters this much, their opinion becomes important, their mood matters, their words stay longer. And that's what you've done to me. You've become important. Don't mind, but I love the way you don't chase attention. I love that you don't need to prove yourself. I love that you can be soft and strong at the same time. I love that you don't beg to be loved. You expect it naturally. That's queen energy. And loving you makes me want to be better. Not because you demand it, but because you inspire it. There's something I've never told you. When I'm quiet, it's not because I don't care. It's because I'm afraid of saying too much. I'm afraid of showing you how deeply I've fallen. Because what if you don't feel does it the same way? What if I'm loving louder than you are? That fear sometimes makes me act calm, but inside, inside, I'm choosing you every day. I don't love you in a loud, dramatic way. I love you in small ways, checking my phone, hoping it's your message, smiling at something random because it reminds me of you, wanting to tell you about my day before anyone else, worrying if you sound tired, praying silently that you stay happy, even if it's not always because of me. That's how I love quietly, deeply. respectfully. And if one day you ever doubt how I feel, remember this. I don't admire people easily. I don't attach quickly. I don't call someone my queen without meaning it. You earned that place, not by asking, not by forcing, but by being yourself. Maybe I'm not perfect. Maybe I don't always express my feelings clearly. Maybe sometimes I hide behind jokes or silence. But don't mistake that for distance. If I'm here, it's because I want to be. If I stay, it's because I see something real. And if I call you my queen, it's because you carry yourself like royalty, not in arrogance, but in dignity. Here's my biggest confession. Loving you has made me softer, more patient, more thoughtful, more aware of how my words affect someone. You didn't change me, you refined me, and I'm grateful for that. So don't mind, but loving you feels right. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel rushed. It doesn't feel temporary. It feels like something I want to protect. And if you ever choose to walk beside me fully, not just in moments, but in commitment, I promise I won't just love you. I'll honor you because queens aren't just loved, they're respected, and you deserve both. Don't mind, express, but I need to say more because loving you isn't a small feeling, it's not something that fits into a few sweet words or late night texts. It's something that has grown roots inside me. And roots don't disappear easily. There are days I sit quietly and think about how you changed my standards without even trying. Before you, I admired beauty. Now I admire grace. Before you, I chased attention. Now I crave connection. Before you, I wanted excitement. Now I want peace. You didn't teach me this through lectures. You taught me by example, by the way you carry yourself, by the way you refuse to settle for less than respect, by the way you protect your energy. You made me realize something important. A queen doesn't beg to be treated well, she expects it naturally. And the right man steps up willingly. Don't mind, but sometimes I watch you when you don't notice. Not in a strange way, in a proud way. The way you speak with confidence, the way you listen carefully before responding, the way you don't allow nonsense into your life. You don't chase validation. You don't compete for attention. You don't lower yourself to be chosen. You simply exist in your worth, and that's powerful. That's rare. That's why I fell. Let me confess. something that I've never said out loud. Loving you made me confront my own weaknesses because when you love a strong woman, you can't stay immature. You can't play games. You can't disappear and expect her to wait. You can't give half effort and expect full loyalty. Being with you requires growth, and at first that scared me because growth means change, and change means responsibility. But slowly I stopped seeing it as pressure. I started seeing it as purpose. You didn't demand that I become better. You simply inspired it. I started thinking before speaking. I started controlling my temper. I started communicating instead of shutting down, not because you forced me, but because I didn't want to lose something rare. You don't mind, but there are nights I imagine a future with you, not a fantasy, a real one. Arguments and all, busy days and tired evenings, small misunderstandings and big conversations, and still choosing each other. That's what I want, not perfection, consistency, not drama, loyalty, not temporary passion, enduring respect. You see, calling you my queen isn't about putting you on a pedestal. It's about acknowledging your value. It's about understanding that you deserve security, emotional safety, honesty, protection. A queen doesn't fight alone. She has someone who stands beside her, not above her, not behind her, beside her. And that's where I want to be. But let me be honest about something else. Sometimes I fear losing you, not because you're disloyal, but because you have options. You're intelligent, you're strong, you're attractive. You could easily walk into another life and shine there too. And that thought reminds me not to take you for granted. It reminds me that love isn't claimed once, it's earned daily. Don't mind, but I notice the small things when you're stressed but pretending you're fine, when your tone shifts slightly because something is bothering you, when you say it's okay, but it really isn't. I pay attention, busy, because loving you means understanding you, not just hearing you, and I may not always get it right, but I promise you this, I'm trying every single day. There's something powerful about loving a woman who knows her worth. It makes you evaluate yours. Am I consistent? Am I patient? Am I reliable? Am I emotionally mature? Because a queen doesn't settle for confusion, because she chooses clarity. And if I'm standing beside you, I want to deserve that position. Don't mind, but sometimes I imagine you doubting my love, and that hurts more than you know, because my love for you isn't loud, it's steady. It's not dramatic, it's dependable. I don't love you just when it's convenient. I love you when it's complicated, when we misunderstand each other, when we're tired, when life feels heavy. That's when love matters most. You once told me that respect is more important than romance, and that stayed with me. Because flowers fade, sweet words fade, but respect? Respect stays. It shapes how we speak during arguments. It shapes how we handle distance. It shapes how we protect each other's dignity. And I promise you this, no matter what happens, I will never disrespect you. Not in anger, not in ego, not in silence. Don't mind, but loving you made me softer, not weaker, softer. I care more about how my actions affect someone. I think twice before reacting. I value communication, and that's growth, real growth. There's a quiet pride inside me when I call you mine, not ownership, belonging, the kind where two people choose each other freely. And if one day life tests us, if distance tries to interfere, if misunderstandings try to create cracks, I won't run, I won't disappear, I won't let ego win, because queens don't chase, and real men don't quit, don't mind, but I don't just love you for who you are now. I love who you're becoming. Your ambition, your dreams, your standards, your growth, and I want to grow alongside you, not hold you back, not compete with you, but build with you. Here's my deepest confession in this heart. If loving you means stepping up as a man, I accept it. If loving you means learning patience, I accept it. If loving you means protecting your heart, I accept it. Because you're not just someone I'm attracted to, you're someone I respect, and respect turns attraction into commitment. So don't mind if I call you my queen with pride, if I defend you when you're not present, if I work harder because I see a future, if I choose you in rooms full of options, because loving you isn't temporary emotion, it's a decision, one I'm making again and again, quietly, confidently, loyally. And if you ever wonder how serious I am, just know this: I don't love halfway, I don't choose casually, and I don't call someone my queen unless I'm ready to treat her like royalty. not with luxury, but with loyalty, not with control, but with consistency, not with words alone, but with actions. Don't mind, but loving you has become one of the best decisions of my life. And if you continue to walk beside me, I won't just admire you, I'll protect what we build. Because queens deserve kingdoms, and I'm ready to build one with you